gracious me!
What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome to an early edition of the Team of the Week predictions. Not the full Team of the Week predictions. This is going to be a preliminary Team of the Week predictions, a first look, if you will. We're only really going to look at two major leagues today, but there were a lot of games played on Boxing Day and the day after, of course. I say two major leagues, the Premier League and the Italian League. We will take a quick look at the Scottish League. We'll take a look at the Championship as well. In fact, that's exactly where we're going to start, in the Championship, because, of course, they were heavily part of the Boxing Day fixtures. As you can see, every single team played there. We'll only have a look at the major ones. So we'll look at Leeds, Blackburn. We'll look at anyone who scored more than 3 goals or 3 goals or more. And I think that's probably going to be about it. I'll take a look. No, I won't. I won't bother. We'll just have a look at those, and we'll see what's happening there. So Leeds, Blackburn, Roof, or Rufe, or however you say his name, he scored a last-minute winner. In fact, he scored, well, look at that. Charlie Mulgrew, centre-back for Blackburn, scored twice, interestingly enough, because I've seen stranger things happen. But the Leeds striker scored 2 in 2 minutes to win the game for Leeds, because they were losing 2-1 from a Charlie Mulgrew goal, and then he came back. I mean, that could go either way. They could give it to that striker, or they could give it to the defender. I genuinely don't know. They could just not give it to any of them, of course. Up next, Norwich, Nottingham Forest. No one there. I was just looking for a hat-trick, because you never know. But there are a lot of fixtures to choose from this week, so I think I'm going to be picky with it. No one from that one either. I mean, they could give it to Lynch, the centre-back, but like I said, there's a lot of fixtures already been played. There are a lot coming over the weekend as well, although not that many leagues, I must admit, because obviously the Spanish League isn't back till the new year. You don't have the German League. In fact, let's have a look at them. So, yeah, the Spanish League doesn't come back, as you can see, till the 3rd of January, so that's gone. Bundesliga, that, again, doesn't come back till late January or mid to late January. So, again, that's gone. The French League, that doesn't come back again till the first week of January. So, pretty much, we're going to have a very sparse, not a sparse, but a very Premier League, Italian League themed Team of the Week going forward. Because, again, the Dutch League doesn't come back either. Let's have a look at the Portuguese League. Again, they don't come back till the 2nd. The 2nd is the day of Team of the Week, of course. So, you know, we're not going to get an awful lot. 20th of January. It's going to be a week of Premier League, Italian League. So to be fair, actually, we might get a fair share of Championship players this week. I would definitely say no one from that game. But going back to that Leeds game, I have to say I must. There must be an inform from that game. No, in EA, they'll probably go with Charlie Mulgrew, but that striker there, he has to get one, surely, because they've just he's won them the game, essentially. I'm going to go over to a different website now. This is Soccerway, and we're going to have a look at this Celtic game, because that Celtic game right there is going to give us an informed Scott Sinclair. And I didn't do that on purpose to rhyme it, but informed Scott Sinclair coming our way for a hat-trick in a 4-3 win over Aberdeen. That, so far, probably the biggest player of note. And that sent Celtic to the back to the top of the league, of course. Let's go, wrong website, let's go to Italy. Excuse me, let's go to Italy. Next set of games this Saturday for Italy, of course. Any big fixtures coming up there that we can see? I mean, you've got the likes of Juve, Sampdoria. That's a very big game. Lazio, Torino's a big game. Inter against Empoli. That'll be interesting. Hopefully, Inter can score 6 or 7, and we can get another. We can get an informed 9-goal or something. Right. So let's have a look here. Sampdoria, Atalanta, Juve 2-2. That's interesting. Lazio have won. That's that. Right. So let's have a look. The Sampdoria game first and foremost. Then what are we saying? Ramirez off the bench with a goal and an assist. Maybe. And, you know, there's not an awful lot going on, right? I've got to reiterate this. There's not an awful lot going on. So, to be honest, they could give that to Quagliarella just for scoring a goal and doing nothing else in that game. You know, it could literally go to anyone this week. This is going to be such a hard Team of the Week predictions. They could give it to Zapata. I believe that would be a second inform. I mean, it's unlikely, but you never know, right? You never know. What are we saying here? Lazio. That's an inform right there. Felipe, centre-back. 1 goal and assist. Clean sheet, man of the match. That is an inform right there. What's his name? Luis Felipe. Not quite sure what that card would look like, but that's definitely an inform. Let's move on to the next one. That's going to be Torino against Empoli. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Belotti in form, or maybe even an Nkulu in form. In fact, I'm going to go with Nkulu. Nicholas Nkulu with a goal and a clean sheet in a 3-0 win. Belotti wouldn't surprise me, if I'm honest. Only an assist is a bit of a dodgy one, but like I said, there's only really 2 major leagues on. So, you never know there, but going to go with the defender. I'm going to avoid this one. I don't think anyone from that has done enough to warrant an inform. We'll jog on from that, and then Inter. Asamoah, potentially, with a clearance off the line. That's what that C means. And man of the match performance, clean sheet as well. Martinez, though, did score in the 91st minute to win them the game. That's a crucial 3 points as far as they're concerned. He did only play 7.0. Not quite sure what minute he came off the bench, but he did score in the 91st. So there is a chance. There is a chance he could get that. There are more games to be played, of course, so we can't read too much into it. But so far, nothing too crazy from the Italian League. Now, I know that there were a lot of goals scored in the Premier League this week, so we could see a lot of informs coming out of the Premier League. This is normally where you tend to get Premier League inform central. A lot tends to come out around Christmas. So Liverpool, first and foremost, beating Newcastle by 4-0. It's going to be hard to deny Lovren an inform there. Not that many are going to care. I am a Liverpool fan, I'm allowed to say that. If I had my way, I'd give it to Shaqiri, but obviously he's not going to get it. I'm going to give it to Lovren. I think Lovren will get it with a goal. Clean sheet, man of the match. Yep. Lovren there, probably the biggest name on the list so far. This is an interesting one because Pogba, in my personal opinion, didn't really deserve the inform last week. Lingard did. However, they gave it to Pogba because obviously they had this repeatable SBC in mind. Pogba doesn't have a special card. He's a high-rated card. He's going to sell packs. Makes sense. This week, he's played a perfect 10, got man of the match, and scored twice. He can't get it 2 weeks in a row, so it ain't going to be him. They're probably going to give that to either Nemanja Matic. I find it hard to believe they'll give it to Lingard. It would be a little bit of justice if they did, but I'm going to go with Nemanja Matic there if I had to pick. I mean, I'm not saying guaranteed, but nice 87 rated CDM from the Premier League. I'm not sure many people would turn their nose up at that. I actually quite like the Matic card in FIFA. So, I'm going to go with Matic there with a goal. Why not? Moving on, Everton. After being slapped, they've now slapped Burnley. Gibson got a goal and made a last-man tackle, but his side lost 5-1, so I'd be very surprised there. I'm going to go with, I'm going to mispronounce this, but Digne? Digne, is it the French left wing-back? 2 goals, man of the match performance. It's pretty self-explanatory there, to be fair. Ha, I rhymed. No, that's pretty easy to pick. I'm not quite sure what that card would look like, but hey, that's my choice from that game. This one, I'm going to say no one from that one. I could argue the Cardiff keeper making 5 saves, keeping a clean sheet, but I'm going to say no one from that game. Goalkeepers are going to be a massive problem this week, though. I can imagine goalkeepers are just going to be complete random choices. I mean, as they usually are, sure. Right, this is an interesting one because obviously Heung-min Son already in form. He can't get it despite the fact that he scored twice. Eriksen, you'd see there first because of that man of the match award. 1 goal and assist, man of the match. I would say yes. However, the right back, Walker-Peters, has got a hat-trick of assists and kept a clean sheet there. So I would be inclined to give him an inform. But then do you give Eriksen and Walker-Peters an inform? Obviously, remembering, of course, there are more Premier League fixtures to come over the weekend. Tottenham, they host Wolves 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. So if nothing happens in that game and there's nothing to speak of from Tottenham's point of view, not talking about Wolves, if Wolves win 4-0, then obviously that's irrelevant. But if Tottenham are to win the game, nothing really happens, it's a 1-0 win or something like that, I would say both Eriksen and Walker-Peters. If Tottenham beat Wolves 2-3, 4-0 and there's a hat-trick involved or something, I would probably say Eriksen to miss out, Walker-Peters maybe to get that. So at the moment, I'm saying both of those. I'm going to put both of those in my Team of the Week predictions. And again, only because there is a sheer lack of games, or lack of leagues, I should say. Chelsea, Hazard, 2 goals and a man of the match performance. I mean, at the moment, I would preliminary write that down as a yes. because they're going to want a big name. So I'm going to say yes on that one for the time being, before the weekend's games kick off. That's a yes from me. That's a high-rated card right there. And then, of course, one to watch, Anderson. That has to be an inform. Regardless of what happens over the weekend, I would say that there's going to be another inform one to watch, Felipe Anderson. So if you've got that card and you've been waiting for it to happen, I think it's going to happen again. So there we go. Another, I think, what's that, like 3 or maybe even 4 informs now for Felipe Anderson. And that brings us to the end of the video. We've only looked at 2 leagues, but we do have tomorrow's games. Again, this is all the games. These are all the games tomorrow that would pretty much be of any relevance. We have the Premier League, of course, Liverpool-Arsenal. There's likely to be an inform from that game. So Lovren, in my opinion, has already banked one. There could be another one if Liverpool win. If Arsenal win, then of course there'll be an Arsenal inform there. There's going to need to be a significant performance from any of these sort of players, because there's no like big like derby games or anything. As far as Italy are concerned, maybe the Lazio-Torino game, because that's a fairly big game there. Apart from that, I don't really see. I mean, again, it's going to be a case of someone from Juve is going to have to score a hat-trick or something like that. And again, the Championship, that could go either way. You know, big game or no big game doesn't make a blind bit of difference. There's going to need to be a couple of goals scored there, or a heroic performance. And then again, goalkeepers. I mean, that could quite literally come from anywhere this week. This is going to be one of the hardest weeks to predict, because of the sheer lack of football on. But by the by, so far we have quite a few high-rated players there. Eden Hazard, in my opinion, if nothing happens in Chelsea's game on Sunday, Eden Hazard will get it. We've got a few other big names in there as well. And of course, the best defender in the world, Dejan Lovren, is up for an inform as well. That's a very, very early look. But I tell you what, already this is actually shaping up to be a decent team of the week, because of the fact that there's only 2 leagues on. There are other leagues. Scotland are playing. There are a couple of other lower leagues as well. So if EA decide to litter it with lower rated players, then so be it. But I can't imagine they will do. We're going to get a lot of Premier League and Italian League informs. So if you have one of those teams, you run a team with a lot of one or the other in, this could be your week to stock up on wins in Foot Champs to get those red player picks, because you're going to get a lot of choices or a lot of chances to pick someone that maybe is going to fit into your team. If you have enjoyed this episode of the preliminary Team of the Week predictions, do me a favour and smack the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.